All right. Well, Weston, are you working off your laptop? Your camera is so close to you, but that's cool.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, let me go back.
it's all right. It's all right. Um, Welcome everybody to this week's Trade the Chain AMA. If this is your first time joining us, please feel free. There's both the chat function and the Q&A function that entitles you to ask questions. So please ask them and we will answer them during this session. And of course, I mean, you can always DM us or put it in any of the chats on Discord as well. The first thing I'd like to just cover is all content provided by Trade the Chain is for informational purposes only. None of this is investment advice and should not be construed as such, which merely just says, I guess, we're entertainers, but smart ones, I think, maybe. And Patricio has joined us. He knows so much about crypto. He is such a great ambassador and member. Yet he joins us every single week. I don't think he has anything left to learn at this point. I don't know. That being said,
He's spreading the knowledge now. He's sending it out.
He is. All right. So with that being said, a list of agenda today. A summary of what we'll cover is we're going to do Nick's research. We're going to do TTC and cent token updates. We're going to do a Metamask tutorial with Weston. A lot of questions coming in on how to use Metamask and how to actually do a simple swap on a DEX. There's a whole level of members inside our community. So we understand that there's some very experienced ones as well as some just starting out. And so these are the type of things we just want to kind of help with and make less scary. So Weston's going to do that for us in a little bit. Also, Weston's Trading Corner, which everybody has come to know and love. He has a trade that if you haven't been in Discord, you wouldn't know about it because he has just gone over it in Discord. And also, if you are not in Discord and you're here at the AMA, please go into the Discord. It's super important and it's literally like half our product, and you can access that via the TTC community tab once you're logged into your TTC dashboard. After Weston's Trading Corner, we're also going to turn over to Nick, who has his Sig-dev trade of the week. So that'll be interesting. And as well as Nick will also be following up with some commentary, which you may have seen in his Twitter. So I look forward to it all, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Ryan, as you all know, NFT Hair is currently traveling. And so we don't have him today. But Nick, why don't you just jump into the first bullet point? I may have messed up the order of things. Let's get into some of the research and commentary that you have for us this week.
Let's do it. I think everyone's kind of like, what the hell is up with Bitcoin and Ethereum? So let me go ahead and share my screen, make sure I have the right one. Don't want everyone seeing all my wallet passwords and all that fun stuff. Okay, here we go. So this is something, so generally, so if you're in the community, you get this first and foremost. You get this when the alpha is there, when it's worth the squeeze right on time. So I put this always in the community first, and then I put it on Twitter second to help spread the gospel. So sentiment and Bitcoin price action have been very closely correlated. I know we saw some crazy action right after the seizure news, or the Colonial Pipeline seizure news. And it got a little wonky. So basically what we saw was retail really thought that news was bullish because it kind of dispelled the whole news narrative that Bitcoin is only for scammers. But basically big money sold off because of the connection between Bitcoin and the government and the rumor of, quote unquote, is Bitcoin hacked? So basically, after we found out that Bitcoin was not hacked, that it was just basically, someone got into their private keys, which is akin to Alex leaving his, keys on his, refrigerator at home for safekeeping or something like that. So they got in really easy. Bitcoin is still secure. And then right when that happened, El Salvador news dropped. So right when you can see this little drop right here, I guess I'll just kind of pull this up to make it a little more clear for everybody. Right in this little dip right here was when the El Salvador news dropped and sentiment was already beginning to bottom. So everyone was kind of realizing that the media a little overblown. Now we have really positive news coming, and that actually had an immediate impact. You can see on the price scale right here, we have that inverse head and shoulders. We talked about that with Monty and CJ earlier this week. And then price just began to start to skyrocket. Currently, Bitcoin is staying relatively steady in terms of sentiment, floating between that 50 and 70 range, which is something that we want to see. So what I'm looking for in terms of the sentiment chart is obviously we want to see things remain bullish. It's a great sign of where we're at now. But if we do start to dip back lower, like we are trending down a little bit, along with price action, we want to see it bounce off that neutral area. We do not want to see sentiment flip bullish. If it does, that could potentially hurt our momentum that we've built up from the El Salvador news. So moving forward to, what does this mean for the technicals? Something that you've seen me share a lot is RSI divergence. This has been multi-day, and you can see every time it kind of touched the divergence line, it always picked back up. But this time, this is really the third main touch. It's the third kind of main divergence point. Everything is more or less oversold. We're starting to dip back into, relatively, what I call normal levels for the indicators. And then we've got this crazy block of volume and order book interest, or not volume, order book, just order book interest sitting right here. I mean, this is just, that is a thick wall. I mean, if you see that, you're not breaking through that very easily. That is a tough battle. So seeing that there means that there's a lot of interest at 36, 35, 34K. That's what you want to see. And we're sitting on top of that 50 MA on the daily. The daily candle was a very important candle for me. I think almost more important than the 4 hour sometimes. So if I'm seeing strong indicators on the daily, this is positive. So we definitely want to see this white line, which is the 50 MA hold for Bitcoin. If it does break, we would like to see, 34, 35K hold as support for a potential swing failure pattern under that line that everyone's looking at. So what I'm looking for is stay above the line, hold 35K, sentiment stays positive, and we should have a really good weekend. Currently, I'm actually leaning a little bullish. This is not financial advice, this is strictly my opinion, but time will tell how we react to the continued El Salvador news. So quickly, we'll just move over to Ethereum, because I don't think there is, I think Bitcoin is much more important right now, because I think that's where the narrative lies, especially in the media and in the market. But we'll quickly cover Ethereum, just because I think that the dichotomy, basically the contrast of what Ethereum and Bitcoin look like in terms of price and sentiment, kind of shows you the value of comparing sentiment with price action. So if Ethereum price and sentiment have been relatively correlated, but not as closely as Bitcoin. As you can see, we can see whenever certain little small dips happen, they signal, future dips, certain rises signal certain rises, but it's not as crazy. Like sentiment for Ethereum has just been bad. It's just ever since the ETH 2.0 delay news that we discussed earlier in the week, people have just been like, this is not as sexy as it was once before. So right now we're basically seeing sentiment drop. We're seeing price action just basically make lower lows. This is not positive for what you want to see if you're very heavily ETH. I mean, look, just this morning, this screenshot was taken 2 hours ago, 40% drop in trading volume. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone who may be in ETH right now, but that is the worst sign imaginable if you're a trader right there. Is basically half of the volume is gone and it's elsewhere. That money will be going somewhere else, not in Ethereum right now. So looking at price action, we can see major resistance right around that 3K range. If anyone who's traded technicals for a while knows that this is just not anything that you want to see, especially riding right on support. I would expect to see a fake out bounce right here, but I'm overall bearish. I'll be completely honest. I pulled out about a third of my ETH holdings today, and I'll be looking for that 1800 range. You see where we had that giant order book interest level on Bitcoin. We've got the same thing on Ethereum. It's just unfortunately $600 lower. So I will be looking for the 1800, maybe 1900 level, but I will not be buying on the first touch, and I will be watching that very closely as we move forward. If you want to play it, obviously shorts or just getting out of it to protect money going elsewhere. But we have a feeling that L1s may be getting some of the sentiment and money that's coming out of ETH. So something like Solana, Polkadot, even Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Watch these as ETH dips. I think they may move with ETH to begin with, but I think we'll see some discorrelation coming soon. So that's my take on the markets. And if there's any feedback or questions, please feel free to hit me with them. I'm not 100% correct. I'm just right most of the time. So.
Very interesting. So your prediction is that some of that movement of ETH out of ETH is going to affect then altcoins for the positive, but not in the near term. It may take a little while to take effect.
Yes, I think the narrative lately was like that Bitcoin dominance as it's hovering around that 40-45% mark. And I think if Bitcoin rises and gets is the main focal point of the narrative, then Bitcoin dominance will rise. Alts will take a small hit. Eventually, some other alts will begin to rise in comparison to ETH. And then I have a feeling that ETH is going to be a slow moving dark horse towards the latter end of the next alt season, is my opinion.
He did not skip Cardano to spite you, Patricia.
Oh, I apologize. I did not mean to skip Cardano. I am sorry. Cardano is included in that list with Polkadot, Avalanche. I was not throwing any shade. I apologize. Thank you for correcting me.
All right, very cool. Moving on, let's go to okay, TTC updates. So a couple of updates, both on with TTC and the Cent token. But let's start with new listings. 5 new listings this week. Hex, don't ask. It's listed. That's just how it's going to be. If there's an overbearing revolt to it, I will pull it at a moment's notice, no problem. AMP. Wazir X, ticker WRX, Ergo, ticker ERG, and Titan Swap, ticker Titan, TITAN. Those are the 5 new listings. 4 of them are credible to me. I'll leave it at that. Also, when it comes to the platform, we're still a couple things in the mix. So we're still working with Kraken's Crypto Watch. Actually had a meeting with them today, doing some further integrations as well as cross partnerships as for our members, and working towards some benefit factors as well. That's still an interesting thing that we're building out. And over the course of the next couple of months, you actually will have rollouts of different ways the platform looks and feels. It won't change too dramatically, but it will get better as it gets more diversified from a data flow perspective. So we're really excited about that. Moving on to the Cent token. As you know, the Cent token, which is Trade the Chain's governance and member loyalty reward token, was launched in Miami last Saturday. It was a stealth launch. We did that on purpose. So the majority of holders are our own members, and that's it's wonderful to see the support there, and thank you very much. To give you a background on that, well, first of all, let me tell you that the website, the socials, they're all being launched this weekend so that everybody can see, both from the light paper to the contract address to the chart and all that other good stuff based around it. This was a fair offering launch. We have a couple of treasury contract addresses that are heavily locked up and will be used for pools. So you guys know that what that basically means is myself, Nick, West, and the rest of the team, nobody's driving Lambos. We put it out there for strictly governance and rewards. The exciting, so also what that's done is kind of doubled my work a little bit here, because not only in road mapping the TTC platform and building all the value add on that, but now simultaneously having those same conversations with our partners and building the value on the Cent token so that it becomes a really value add proposition. With that being said, again, reiterate, website and socials are coming out on Cent token this weekend. Also, we will have pools, liquidity pools, launching next week on Zero Exchange. And because, as all you guys know, Weston over here, who loves to, he has a yield farmer stand. We're we're throwing a bunch of treasury into some ridiculous APY over there to make it fun and exciting, because that's what we love to do, party too much. And also our first centralized exchange listing is coming next week. That'll start off with the Bitcoin.com exchange, as well as bringing in our, I'm sorry?
I was like, boom.
Yeah, no, so the first listing will be with the Bitcoin.com exchange next week, as well as our first of a handful of professional market making firms will be keeping orderly conduct on the order books moving forward with our first CEX. And then past next week, we have an exciting rest of June and going into July. We have some partnership announcements coming, as well as we have some other announcements. And I'm sorry, I can't say any more, but we'll obviously next week and the week after start unrolling that. So for now, Zero.com or Zero.exchange liquidity pools will be launched next week, as well as our first centralized exchange listing on Bitcoin.com. And that's that. Moving on, we're going to do something for some of the beginner members that are coming in who have joined over the last weeks and months, and that is going to be a MetaMask tutorial from Weston. It'll only be a couple of minutes, so if you are an experienced person, go grab maybe an early afternoon beer or something. But this is for the people. We got tons of DMs on this, particularly after people wondering how to get tokens. So Weston, if you could take us through how to get a MetaMask, and then after that, how to connect it to a DEX exchange. And Nick, yes, we'll be recording this and putting this up.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex. So you can all see my screen, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So what I did here is actually went to a brand new. So this is where you go, metamask.io, and make sure that it is the exact website, with the yes here, so you're secure. And you just simply click download now. There is a mobile app, but let's just say to keep it in browser, easiest way, click install. And add it to your extensions. That's what pops up right here. And it looks like it already did that for me. So that just connected. I don't know. So, sorry, that looks good. Just connected somehow very fast. But anyways, once it's in there in your extensions, you'll see your little fox up here in the corner of where your extensions are, and that's basically where you would get your address, your contract, and you send Ethereum to that MetaMask address. So if you have like Ethereum on Coinbase, you copy paste your MetaMask address and you send your Ethereum to MetaMask. Okay, that so far clear?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and click the Fox and just show them where everything is.
So let me get 1 second here. Let me go to a brand new screen. Okay, so here, let's say we're doing a screen there, and okay. So you should be able to see like the box down. Yes.
Yep, we can see your MetaMask.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to say. So this right here is your address, and this is what can be used multi-chain. So like on Polygon, on Ethereum, on Avalanche, Hecko, the Huobi Eco chain. You copy this, and then when you go to Coinbase, you send your Ethereum to that address. And then basically, right now I'm on the Matic the Polygon network, but you just go to Ethereum, like whichever network you want to be connected to, Binance, Avalanche, Phantom, but then it'll show up in your Ethereum wallet, and then you've got your assets, and from there, then you simply need to go to Uniswap.
And while he's typing that in, just FYI for everybody, MetaMask is multi-chain. So you can have your Matic assets, your Ethereum assets, your Binance Smart Chain assets, etc. And your address will always be the same. So whether or not you're on Binance Smart Chain, whether or not you're on Avalanche, whether or not you're on Ethereum, that address that he showed you that you're going to copy to deposit your Ethereum into your account, that will be the same no matter what chain you're on. So do not worry if you're switching chains.
Yeah, that's a great point to make, Nick. So, folks, it's automatic when it's on your desktop extension, browser extension. You can toggle between Ethereum mainnet, Smart Chain, so forth and so on. When it's on your phone, you actually need to input the chain, so it won't show up automatically on your phone. But in your browser extension on desktop, you can toggle between them all. And to reiterate, as Nick just pointed out, if somebody wants to send you something that's on BSC or AVAX or something, it's the same exact address, the one and only address for your MetaMask wallet. That's what makes MetaMask so beautiful.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. It's like the only two, I think, like Solana has a different, you're gonna have a different one, and Thorchain. But yeah, for the main, where all the action is happening right now, yeah, it's fantastic. So hopefully you guys saw. So I went to Uniswap, and now you've created your wallet. You have to connect your wallet to the application app that you want to use, which in this case is Uniswap. So we're connecting to. Sorry, I need to go to Ethereum because Uniswap is. So now
and just FYI, hold on, Weston. If it gives you that error, it's basically telling you you're on the wrong network. And just as Weston did, you're going to go back to MetaMask and you're going to click the top button where it says Matic, or right there where it's now Ethereum mainnet. But click that. Go ahead and click that, Weston. You can see all of the networks. So if he's going on to BSC or Matic, he'll click whatever one. But if you're connecting to Uniswap for the first time or whatever, just make sure you're on Ethereum, or whenever you do connect again as well.
Exactly. So, and then so there's also one more important. So now we're on Uniswap. We've got Ethereum in the wallet because it was sent there. We're connected via MetaMask, and now you can select a token and say we wanted to buy Curve, just randomly out of that you would input your ETH, you get an estimate, you would hit confirm, and then that's it. And then I know, were you asking to show like the contract address, or
yeah? So what Weston just showed is the fact that you can drop down list and select a coin. If the coin is not listed, you can cut and paste the contract address into that search box, and it'll populate it. So if you don't see the coin that you want, just cut and paste the contract in, and it'll populate automatically.
Exactly. And then one more thing to be aware of is that, so Uniswap V3 is live, but V2 is also live. So if you do copy paste and it comes up, but it says there's no liquidity, there'll be a little blue box here that says trade on Uniswap V2. And you just click that, and then you're able to trade.
Weston, do you mind go ahead and copying that address and just throwing it in, pressing enter? It's very simple for everyone, but just so they can see the simplicity.
Oh yeah, we just put the sent address in the chat. You can copy the sent address.
Yeah, it's in the.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Give me one. Let me put it's put it in the chat here. Is it in the Q&A?
It's in the chat.
Okay. There we go. Copy.
Then all you need to do, you should just need to press enter.
No, that's not the right address, is it?
Are you on V3?
No, that's not the right address, Weston.
Yeah, I need the, what's
Weston,
the,
it's right. It's the third message from the bottom, Weston.
okay, looks like we got a few in here. Okay, yep, I see it. The DEX tools.
0x9.
No, that you just need to type in the token address into Uniswap.
Okay, here it is.
That's not the address.
It's all right. Well, moving on.
Oh.
You're also on V3, dude. You got to go to V2.
Yeah, well, we can go
Yeah.
there like right now if you want in copy paste. But again, I mean, it's literally copy paste and it pulls up for you.
And this is the same on Uniswap and Zero. So basically your from address is always going to be whatever you want to trade out of. So USDC, Ethereum, your to is what you're trading into. And that's where you want to put your sent token. And it's just copy, paste, click enter, and then you will see the token symbol sent pop up.
All right.
Yep.
So let's go.
Exactly.
Moving on. Weston, why don't you go to Weston's trading corner and tell them about the huge trade you actually had this week?
Yeah, so are you able to see the iron now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of actually a little bit crazy, but not considering when with Polygon exploding. This protocol has over $1 billion in TVL already, and a week ago it had like 150 million. Like, look at this growth. So anyways, Titan is now trading over $17 a token, which I got in last week about here, $3-4. So it's a nice, 300% gain in a couple days. And then I actually got out right here because I was worried that we had risen too fast. And then I bought back in about right here. And now I'm just holding it because I might exit today and take some profit because I think this has been pretty substantial run. But yeah, I just found this doing research, and there's some yield aggregators you can use to actually compound your gains even further. But this is just tight token trade. So,
and you can find that. That's it's a heck of a run. That's one of our newly listed tokens as well. So folks, you can find its own coin page under the ticker Titan, TITAN, in the coin search on the coin screener page. So very cool. Okay, let's do this. It's up to you, Nick. You had a Sig-dev trade of the week. Fill us in on that and how you went about it and what happened.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to, and this may be fun for any of our Discord members who maybe haven't played around with Discord a whole lot, but if you go to the Sig-dev channel, we're in our actionable alerts section, and you go to the search section and you type in Gitcoin and hit enter, you will be inundated with Gitcoin messages from our Sig-dev alerts channel, basically talking about Gitcoin. I think it updated that it was listing on Binance like 4 separate times. It updated that it was listing on Coinbase as well. So Gitcoin was obviously a darling in terms of sentiment and just focal, attention in the markets due to these exchange listings. So what I'm going to do is pull up the Gitcoin chart for everybody real quick, because if you're in the community.
Yeah, real quickly, I just want to make correction. I actually misspoke. We didn't list Iron Titan. We listed Titan Swap, 2 different things. I don't want people to get confused when they go to trade.
Good call.
Yeah, different than the one I traded. Yeah.
I'll accept my mistakes.
Back to Gitcoin. So the chart isn't very old, so I've got it on the hourly right now, and you can see that when these, come on. This is very odd. There we go. You can see that when these exchange listings started happening, we went from around the $5 range all the way up to, you know, I mean, 20 on that first run, but it almost got back for a little cup and handle action. So you can just see that, you know, the first Coinbase listing or Binance, I don't even remember which one it was. There's been so many alerts. Like our Sig-dev channel was basically screaming at you to trade this coin over the week. So basically right here, either Binance or Coinbase first announced, we have a launch up. I think we then had another announcement right around here. We had another launch up. So, I mean, if you just played any of the announcements, you could have made, I don't know, that's at least, that's a potential triple to even a 1x, you know, if you got in late, all the way to if you just held it for a few days. I mean, it was pretty hard to lose money on this coin just from the sheer amount of Sig-dev. So what I do when I see a Sig-dev is I have the alert set up on my phone and my laptop, so I'm not missing a Sig-dev alert. Some I ignore because they're on maybe smaller exchanges, but I love to, if it says Coinbase or Binance, immediately checking the chart wherever it is, whether it's on CryptoWatch, whether it's on TTC, whether it's on TradingView, whatever it is, I'm running to the chart. Now, if I see it's, you know, sometimes with these like low vol or these kind of low float coins or whatever, definitely risky, but if I see Coinbase, probably going to throw a little bit of money at it. And with these, you know, we know these are volatile, so don't try to squeeze all the money out of it. If you make 5, 10, 50, whatever percent, take your money and run. That's just the smartest way to do it, especially on, you know, something that you understand to be a quick kind of alert system. So you basically had anywhere from, you know, that 9 a.m. range all the way to the end of the day to make some money on this coin. So that's a great way to play it immediately after the listing. If you catch it after the listing a few hours, be very careful. Feel free to tag myself, maybe Weston, someone in the community, and say, hey, I just saw a Coinbase listing. I'm 6 hours late. Does this look good? And I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you whether it looks good or bad. I'll never tell you what to do with your money though. So the way that I play these is try to get immediately after, soak up the immediate value, keep close watch in case another listing comes, because obviously if they're courting Binance, they're probably courting Coinbase, and they're probably paying similar fees, and they're probably dealing with similar personnel. So watch closely for potential lagging exchange ads for another double trade. But again, with coins like this, I know nothing about Gitcoin other than the fact that it was announced on exchanges. Be careful. These are probably not long-term holds. These are just great daily or swing trades. So I'll leave it at that.
I was going to add, I mean, I think you couldn't have hit the nail on the head more aptly, Nick, in terms like, you know, when listings happen, that pattern is so common that it just shoots up and comes down. And, you know, so be aware of that. And if you're going to get in, be prepared to get out right away. And then it stabilizes and goes from there. But you just have to be careful.
Umesh, and we normally don't answer what looks good or anything to AMAs, but we'll do this wise. Nick, Weston, what are your opinions of AMP, one of our newly listed tokens?
Want me to go first?
Sure. Weston, go ahead.
I think it has a lot of potential. You know, the payments infrastructure with, I think there's a big thing happening in the background with Gemini, as far as I understand. And there is a lot of potential for AMP to grow. It's not my top pick, but I like it. I'm not negative on it overall.
So
from a fundamental view.
Weston has obviously the fundamentals locked down. I am not entirely familiar with what AMP does or its vision. So I will give you my take purely based off the technicals. So in previous run-ups, we had RSI spikes whenever there's a lot of green candles. Every single RSI spike looked very similar to what it does now. And after every single RSI spike, it ended up making a higher high compared to its previous all-time high. So if I'm seeing this, I would say to Umesh, more than likely, it should break all-time high based on previous occurrences. But we know that this is not what we trade off of. Therefore, I would tell you that this is probably not the safest trade in the world, just due to, I mean, look how long these daily wicks are. That's from 59 cents all the way up to 77 cents. That means in a day it's trading in 20% range almost. very risky. So what I would do is I would look for how it reacts up here. So we know that it's kind of in this like spinning top formation, which generally pushes bullish on a previous bullish movement. But I would really want to see how it reacts here. I've got some buy signals on my custom indicators on the 4 hour and the 1 day, but that's days old, meaning that it's a little stale, meaning that it's not a guaranteed alpha generator in terms of a trade. So what I'm doing, if I'm you, I'm looking to see how it reacts at 80 cents. If it gets cleanly rejected and falls back to support, then I'm maybe coming back in around 60 cents. But I physically cannot buy a coin that is almost maxed out on RSI, clearly almost tipping on MACD, and stock RSI is maxed out, and we've got a 3-day-old stale buy indicator. So to me, you could trade it, you could make some money, but I'm saying that this is a highly risky trade today, and you may want to come back to it after some more candles come in.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to bring up on that is, remember, Umesh, so here we have AMP on the sentiment and price overlay graph. It's kind of neutral at this point right now, and you see price getting a little choppy. That's out at the 7 days, zooming into it. Price is still a little volatile on it, but to Nick's point, you're really going to want to see if it sets that new higher high, because once it does, then you're in a whole new zone, right? You're in price discovery, and that's where things are going to get really interesting. But confirmation would be definitely setting that new high. If it doesn't set that new high, I'm with Nick. I'm cautious and not hopping in.
And I will say, just really quickly on that sentiment chart, it is rare to see sentiment that high. And I will say that personally, that's like, oh my gosh, that maybe I want to make a trade. Maybe I want to get a little risky there. Just because you don't normally see sentiment like that with 1700% plus trading volume. So I will say that this could be an anomaly. My wallet is telling me protect your money, especially right now. But if you wanted to get crazy, sentiment plus crazy volume does equal crazy things. So I would heed Alex and I's warning. But hey, people have made money doing the opposite of what we say sometimes. So.
Also, what I want to kind of wrap up with everybody, I don't know, I know we've gotten a lot of new people over the last month or two. And one of the things that we face, because I go in, I check the help desk along with customer support and everything. I like to read what feedback's going on. And I see that there's sometimes some little pockets of individuals where they know about some features and not about other features. So again, one, if you're here via the Discord or via here the AMA reminder email you got and you're not in Discord, you need to go into Discord. That's a must do. That's where we all are 24/7. Two is nearly every page of our site has support. So if you're not in Discord, which has a help channel as well as DMing, the question mark down here instantly communicates with the whole help desk team. When you do log in to your account, just hit TTC community here. You'll see it go to Discord. Boom, done. And then also, we were talking about Sig-devs earlier. When you go to trade Sig-devs, you're going to want to do that in Discord as well, and set the alerts. Also, here's the thing that also some people get confused on. When they come into a coin page, they're like, oh my gosh, what happened to the old chart? This is the new chart. This is our price being in blue, sentiment being in red and green. So people can visualize it now along with this score that we attributed to on the coin screener page. To get to a TA chart off the sentiment chart, hit our good friends over at CryptoWatch who have integrated into our platform. And this is where you go to the charting that you saw Nick playing around with. So these toggle back and forth, folks. Awesome freaking feature.
Yes.
But
and explain to it's the same thing the price you're showing on ours is the same. It's just it has sentiment.
Yeah, exactly. It's because a lot of people who swing trade off the coin screener page, And by that, I mean, and we really need to do another 1 hour video like we did a couple months ago, explaining all the swing trading and stuff. But like, for instance, here, you know, my way of sentiment trading off the coin screener page into swing trades is I'll toggle the 1 hour projection in descending order. Now I will see what's fair to me. Right now, I'm looking at nothing that's fair to me. So actually, I'm going to stay out of the short-term swing trade. But when I do, and I want to take a visualization of the neutral or the very bullish scores, you know, that's where you go into the price for a sentiment chart, and you can visually see the historics on it.
Let's do something fun for our watchers. Humor me and go back to the coins page. I want to show you something that's cool that I like to do to search for opportunities. So let's go to hourly sentiment, like click hourly sentiment, and it'll sort. So this is what I love to do in the mornings, especially if something on like the 24-hour page and the home page isn't looking like what I want it to do, because that's generally where I first look. I'll come to like hourly sentiment and be like, nah, it's 6 in the morning. What can I trade right now? And I'll look, so very bullish. Generally, I try to stay away from. If it's already kind of spiking, then that means, you know, people have already caught on. You know, the market's kind of already boiling up around it. So you're probably not going to be able to suck a whole lot of value out of it. What I love to look at is things kind of floating in this bullish, this like medium bullish territory. Alex is scrolling down too. So like, I love this bullish to neutral, because that means like, I love to trade off of sentiment. So if something is like either, you know, tipping down and hitting neutral, then that means it's either about to go back down to bearish, or it's going to pull up and bounce off of the neutral territory, which means that it's basically in a decision-making zone. So neutral is very much a decision-making zone, and leaning slightly bullish is it's, you know, pushing up. And if it's already very bullish, then usually it's already, you know, about as high as it's going to go. So if I'm looking at neutral, a lot of these coins are obviously kind of in some like low variance points, but look at Electronium, which is bearish long-term, neutral. It just spiked. So, you know, maybe I'm looking at that. Maybe I'm looking for a short. You know, why did that spike with such weird sentiments? That's a great opportunity. Or I'm looking at a coin that is like we previously saw on the back page is like minus 0.98%, like Tron or EOS or something like that. You know, so or Tezos, you know, is a good one. It's only -1. It's only -1% in price action, and sentiment is starting to actually move up a little bit. So is price bottoming and now sentiment is starting to flip? Like, that's a good opportunity. I'm going to go to the Tezos chart probably soon after this call and go look at where support and everything lies. So these are the types of ways that I love to use TTC, because I find decision-making zones to where then there's an opportunity to get in on a trade before it happens. Because if you're chasing green candles, you're chasing red candles in one direction, you're already missing out on money that's already been made by other people, and you're at the mercy of potentially succumbing to emotions, succumbing to market makers and stuff like that. So I love to look at, you know, neutral side, like right there. Look, it's hitting support that it's been on for 3 days. Now it could move lower, but clearly Twitter is piping up about this coin and saying, oh my gosh, 3 red candles, prime for reversal. You know, that's what Twitter is saying right now in terms of it moving bullish. So that's how I react to TTC charts, and that's how I look for gems when either I'm bored or nothing looks savvy.
Yeah, never chase a trade. I think you said. That's great advice. Let it come to you.
Now, we have a question from Austin. Anyone have a contract address for Arweave? Weston, if you can please just mention the most reliable place for people to get addresses to copy and paste. And folks, I want to caveat this with CoinGecko. I want to caveat this with, do not fall for scam contract addresses that could exploit your wallet. Make sure, double check that it's the correct address. So go to CoinGecko. They'll have a copy and paste feature for the coins, and you can just input them into your MetaMask wallet or Uniswap or Zero.
Yeah. So in if you go to CoinGecko, and I just posted it, and I know exactly where it is on CoinMarketCap, but I forget where it is in CoinGecko. But the contract address will always be in either CoinGecko, like we said, or CoinMarketCap. And if you're ever like on Uniswap and you can't find a token, or someone sent you a token address, just like always Google it or go to CoinGecko like immediately. Like never. I mean, do the simple double check of comparing two strings of letters and numbers will save you thousands of dollars in the future. So it's always just a good rule of thumb.
Is there a bank robbery going on behind you, Nick?
Oh,
there was a whole. I was watching a whole bank robbery on TV.
It's the Acorns commercial, yeah.
All right. It's not there. That's the thing. But
No, I do see that. Yeah, it looks like it might only be on centralized exchanges right now. I don't know. Did they do a token contract change recently? I could look into it and figure out for you.
I'm double checking it right now.
all right, awesome. We're gonna take a look into that for you. That's one thing about Discord. The usernames and the real names are different. We will put that into.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll put it into Discord, Austin, into the water cooler channel, or Diamond G Coop. Okay, remember that, guys. Diamond G Coop. Tag him when we get the answer, please.
Diamond G Coop. I got you. Sounds like he's driving a nice car around.
It sounds like Austin's having good day in crypto.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we in for a bloody weekend? Stay tuned for our daily Trade the Chain episode over on my channel, Alex Mascioli Crypto, youtube.com/Alex Mascioli.crypto or Alex Mascioli Crypto. We're going to go over what's happening and what to expect for the weekend. I actually think if Nick is available, I'm going to bring him on today as well, since we're a man down. If that's okay with you, Nick.
Sounds fun to me.
All right. So it's 12:53 right now. We're going to do that at 2:00, if that works for everybody. Usually we do it at 1:30, but AMA ran a little over. So 2:00 live on my YouTube channel. We'll have the outlook for the weekend. And that's it. And folks, again, anytime, make sure you can hit us up in Discord. You can hit us up on the help channel there. You can hit us up at support@tradethechain.com. Any of those things. We're around 24/7. We appreciate it. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you on YouTube in a little bit.
All right, thanks. Bye.